The topic on the floor of the house today is tackling failure. Even before a child has learned to write a complete sentence or a paragraph, he's being told the importance of what it means to score an A or an A+ grade, and how devastating it is to fail or secure an F grade. Ever since that time, our lives are measured by the marks we score, the exams we clear, the trophies we collect. The world, consciously or subconsciously, sells us this concept of success as a destination of eternal bliss where everything seems so perfect. And it is told to us that in order to get there, we need to clear competitive exams, secure seats in amongst the prestigious institutions, work for globally renowned brands. Many of us take it as our life's mission and follow it, not even once stepping back and asking ourselves, what is success after all? And how important are our personal choices in life? As young adults, the dimensions through which we look at life broadly changes. There are many other realms that open up. Your career, your personal relationships, society, finances, and we hope to excel in each of them. While it's perfectly fine to be successful, the fact is, there is never a perfect success. We are bound to fail in some aspect of life. While the measure and magnitude may vary from person to person, the fact is that we need to work on our failures till we step into our graves. I personally feel it is not even failure, but the very thought of failing that actually wreaks havoc. What is it that the world will think of me? Let me take my own personal example. I have been in the space of speaking since 2006. It took me a good 10 years to look at a platform beyond Toastmasters and storytelling to come and start an initiative called A Take on Life. Today I am hosting Take 3 on tackling failures. And trust me, deep within me is this wish that it should be a huge success. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not what it is. The cornerstone to having started A Take on Life is my willingness to risk, is my willingness to be vulnerable of this concept, a one of its kind concept being accepted by people like you all, and most importantly, the awareness that I could fail, and I could fail terribly at it. But yet every time I have a show at an event, it calls for me to set aside everything, come and give it the best I have. Because that is the design of life. Whether you like it or not, whether you're successful or a failure, come the time, come the moment, you need to put aside everything, come and give it the best that you have. I was researching a lot about failure, and the minute I type on tackling failure, you have 1,000 videos on YouTube, you have stories, you have quotes, some amazing turnaround stories of people who have failed and made it in life. But let me tell you, the intent of today is not to do any of it, but instead to look within ourselves to understand that failure is an integral part of our lives. And through this discussion, I would initially be opening it up with understanding the concept of failure and success, and then talking of failure in different realms of life, be it at work, in our career, in our relationships, or in finances, and how each varies. And as we walk off, look at how we could tackle failure and have our take on it. Are we up there? Yes. Yeah? With this, I open the floor for discussion. But we can talk as much on failure. I have one simple question. Can somebody ever define success for me? Let's not even get to failure. Can someone define what success is and what it means to them?
I personally define success as a long term, not in the immediate surroundings. So where I am getting long term, that is my success.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, success is how much money you make, I guess.
Different. For me, it is success personally. What I have gone through in the business is hard work first. Hard work, discipline, success. That is my.
What
for me, success means being happy. I don't know if that
relates to a lot of people here, but to me that's what it is.
I personally think this definition keeps changing. It depends on your current situation.
Sure.
You know something right now, you want to get there. But when you get there, you have something else that you look forward to, and you know something.
How many of your children are comfortable walking up and telling you that they didn't do well in their exam, that they failed in an exam?
It's my daughter. My daughter agreed that she was topper till 10th standard. Suddenly she joined MES college in Malleshwaram.
Okay.
And suddenly we sent her to some tuitions. She was naturally intelligent. We wanted her to more disciplined and all those things. Then it killed her motivation totally.
Sure.
She used to get 100 out of 100 in 10th standard.
Sure.
And in PUC she got, in pre-education, she got around 60 or 70,
Okay.
the marks
Okay.
in her undergraduation. So it was very difficult for us to bring her back to the track. Then we asked her to leave the tuition,
Okay.
and she was on her own. She got her marks back, 100 out of 100. She got her marks back.
So you feel at some point that the fault is in your end, that you had to push her through things that she probably didn't like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we tend to go with the flow.
Okay.
Peer pressure.
So yeah, that's how we took our leap into engineering. And now not liking it, but you can't swim against the current all the time.
To another important aspect, the whole thing about success and failure, which is motivation.
Yeah.
I think everything in the world is motivation driven. So if children are to be forced to study or forced to take part in sports or whatever it is, and they don't want to because they don't see the motivation, it's as simple as
Yeah.
that.
What is the role a modern day parent needs to don in order to make their children more capable individuals?
I guess accept that, believe in that conviction as they start growing up as a parent, and then to say, "How please go ahead and do it." Here is there.
Accepting your child the way he or she is.
I think the biggest gift that you can give your child is that to tell him or her that it's all right to be the way you are. You know, everyone is perfect, and there is room for all kinds of people in this world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to. You know, I think the best gift I give my children is that it is not necessary to conform.
But as a son, I think what I would expect from a parent or my dad and mom is to show me a direction, but not the destination. The destination is something that I would like to choose and discover myself, but many a times I get lost, and that is where a parent's role comes in. My greatest mentor is my dad, but what I do, my dad does not know. He does not have the expertise in. But my dad is successful where he tells me whom I should contact and how do I go about solving the problem that I have.
Moving on to the second phase, there is this, I call this question the curious case of the overachiever. Now here, research has shown us that people who are extremely successful during the school and college days, done really well for themselves, probably come to a point when they have to attend campus interviews or at their first job and they fail. And the problem with such people is they never see failure for the rest of their prior to that and are unable to take it. There have been classic cases of severe depression, people not able to handle what has gone wrong. The question is, how important is it to failure?
It is very important. See, 10 years back, what material positions I took is not making me so happy. As much as 7 years back, I went into depression and I came out of it. Now it is giving me correct thing of life, what I should do, what I should not do, which will hurt me, which will not hurt me. So to that extent, it has helped me much more. It is important to fail. If you don't fail, you will never understand.
You never know how to correct yourself.
Figure out what I want to do really. That would define my success.
Finding an answer to what you want to do is, I think it's a beautiful answer. It's great to accept that you don't know where you're heading. Rather than to say that I know my destination, it's beautiful to accept that I don't know where I'm heading. Post-education is stepping to the corporate world or the real world. It's a rat race, high pressure jobs. It's a survival of the fittest. That's how it is sold. And in our entire career spanning 2 to 3 decades or lesser, we are bound to fail. either to meet our targets, get our next promotion, bag an assignment, all of it. Is success at work overrated or failure at work overrated?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it does.
It matters a lot.
Yeah, it is overrated.
Yes, okay.
So what I thought in my MBA that getting a good job or the best job on the campus will be the success. The day I got it was a success at campus. When I joined the job, even doing a good job doesn't make me happy. So it's a failure for me. I look at it like a success, but for me it's a failure.
Business failures, there is a big chance that you'll fail. Because what I was experiencing as an entrepreneur when I was running the startup is that almost everybody is just trying to grab you for your blood. The government comes after you, the staff comes after you, the customer comes after you. So you're surrounded. If somebody has not done business, they may not understand that.
Sure.
Everybody is just baying for your blood, and it's so easy to fail. So easy to. That's why so many startups fail.
From my experience in the corporate, I do see like everyone here agrees. I think there are a lot of people who are so unhappy with what they do. But they have their own circumstances, they have their own commitments because of which they cannot, quit their job or do something that they want to. But it comes out so evidently in the workplace because you know how people come up. The first thing that I noticed when I joined, I joined 12 years ago, I still remember it so clearly. 2 months, nobody smiles. I'm like, why doesn't anyone in this place even smile? So people come with a lot of baggage. And they're like, I have to be here because I have to earn money. So, people don't enjoy working anymore. At least that's the feeling that I got. But that's it. I think there are people who actually love what they do as well. It's not that everybody in corporates have like this miserable jobs, but there are people who are happy doing what they want.
Yeah. That there are two parallels, working here.
Yeah.
One is your functional success,
Right.
and the other one is your emotional
success. Absolutely.
Functional success is working regardless of whether you like the job or not, and your next promotion is important for your kids to go to a better school. So you pursue that functional success and you let your limits be good, etc., etc. At an emotional level, you have to pursue your success in a different way. Maybe in a parallel.
Absolutely.
And some of us have managed that balance because for your emotional success, you pursue something else, like a hobby, or a relationship, or traveling, or whatever it is. And both don't need to touch each other. It's great if both touch each other, and if you get both from one occupation, great. But otherwise, both of them need to run parallel.
Actually makes like moving on. We today are in a society that is evolving with the times where relationships are also seeing new dimensions, right? So today, how do we define a failure in a relationship? How?
Failure is when there is lack of compatibility and lack of love.
Okay.
I think these are the most important cornerstones in any relationship.
Okay.
Which is compatibility and love, I think.
Yeah, so for me, failure in a relationship would be when there's lack of respect. Because for me, that is what a relationship is about. So if I stop respecting the other person in the relationship or vice versa, then that's a failure for me.
The negative feelings, both sides are so negative, and actually they say in a relationship it's about one is the person as he is, and then one person that you imagine that actually there are 4 people in a relationship, never 2. So if you remove the other 2, then accept and see each other, then it's fine.
So
it becomes a social stigma. For example, if I divorce from my husband, or if I am separated from my husband, it becomes so out of that fear, a lot of people don't want to move on.
Okay, I'm keeping it simple. When things don't work out in a relationship and you move on, you're emotionally devastated. How do you deal with that situation? Yeah.
I feel that the most important thing at that point where you are trying to fight your failure is a proper support system. Either in the form of a family member or in the form of a friend, or in terms of a different hobby or a change of environment which is going to help you resolve the problem. So a support system is the most important thing for you.
See, what I did was, I think for a while, maybe about for 6 months or so, I just let things go out of hand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I lost track of what I was supposed to be doing and my regular activities and my temporary goals, long-term goals. But after that, I was, I was lucky enough to have reached out to the right things and people, including myself, to set it right, and I just moved on.
It's basically give yourself time.
Yeah, give yourself time and also be bold enough to reach for help. A lot of the time you're reluctant to reach for help.
Reach out for help.
You are reluctant to share, all because you are again afraid of failure. When you reach for help, if you don't get help, what will you feel? So I think that's what delayed my recovery for a long time.
My take on failure is that as much as we don't wish to fail, or in the terms fail, it is natural to our existence. And therefore every time we slip up, it's only natural that we feel low, we get low on self-esteem, go through bouts of depression, and live through that entire phase. It's a cycle that we need to live through. But on the flip side, failure is probably a reality check. It helps us reorient ourselves, realign ourselves to understand what went wrong, and most importantly, gets us to introspect. I'm a strong believer in this aspect that there is this one inner voice within each of us, which is an answer to all our questions. The problem with this voice is that it's feeble, it wanders, it seeks validation from others, it goes out in search of answers, while we probably are the best judges of our own lives. And probably it is this phase of introspection, stepping back and looking at life, that helps us understand what we need. I'd like to leave you behind with a 5-step process I thought would be a way at tackling failure better. Step 1, it's called take stock, take control. Anytime things don't go your way, it's important to get into damage control mode, to see whether it's affecting you any further. If you're doing something wrong, stop doing that. Sometimes all you need to do is just pull completely out of it. Go to things that are as aimlessly as watching a movie or going on an excursion in order to get your head out of that particular situation. Step 2, give yourself time. No problem should ever be analyzed with an emotional mind. You need to give yourself time till you're able to think rationally about it. Step 3, reach out. I think we are social beings. As human beings, it is natural that we need to reach out to people for help. The society is designed for that. Reach out to people. The only point that I want to leave behind is to reach out to people that you believe in, that you trust. Probably one session of venting can do a world of good to you. Step 4, set an expiry date. Any emotion, any failure needs to have an expiry date. Your emotions and energies should never turn stale with time. So depending on the magnitude of the failure, set an expiry date from a day to a week to a month to maybe a couple of months, but beyond that you shouldn't continue to live in that space. And 5, just start afresh. Irrespective of how terribly you have failed, irrespective of what has gone wrong, whether you succeed the next time around, it is important that you need to get out there and start afresh. You may feel that you're not yet ready for it. There is never going to be a time when you're going to be ready for it. You just need to stand up and start afresh. I strongly believe that the greatest success stories have been built on the remains of a colossal failure. Build your story, let failure turn into a great success. I had a wonderful time moderating this session. I hope you did. As you walk out of this place, have your take on how to tackle failure, because life is how you see it. Thank you so much.